What's up, everybody? Episode 20. I made it to 20 episodes. I feel like that's a good first landmark. Yeah, give us a clap, everybody at home.
I'm a fan.
Thanks, mate. I'm here with Tobi Izedomi. I got the name. I've been getting everybody's second name wrong, or just forgetting that I don't know how to say it and not asking them. You might know him as OddVenture, or the guy from OddVenture, or that OddVenture guy. But he has a name. His name is Tobi.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to do too much of an introduction. I like when we do a talking introduction.
That's
and
calm.
You tell me about yourself. But yeah, we're episode 20. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you've been here since whenever, to be honest, as long as you're listening, I'm happy. Keep giving me the feedback, keep listening, liking, subscribing, and all of that shit. So yeah, what's up, Tobi? How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm tired,
I
but
bet.
I'm good.
Yeah. You still been working much, or?
Yeah, I think now I'm getting back into things like, yeah. But before, nothing was going on.
Yeah, I bet.
It was very mad. But yeah, back into things.
So what's been your, well, first, before we start anything, give us an introduction of yourself, how you would sum yourself up. I like it when people
I don't like when I get asked that. I feel like the last job interview I had, that was like years ago.
Yeah.
And that's what threw me off even trying to apply for jobs and just letting me be self-employed. But yeah, they will ask like, so tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, your life. And I'll be like,
don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Or just business-wise, or like kind of, let's say image-wise, who do you intend to portray yourself as?
Wow. That's even deeper. So what I would say is I am a videographer.
Yeah.
This is just for dancers to know.
Yeah.
I'm a videographer. Before I used to hate that word.
Yeah.
Videographer. People used to say it to me and be like, what is that? Because I always just
It's a bit of a vague term, isn't it?
Yeah. And plus the way I went through is I was kind of looking at myself becoming a filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started getting these dance jobs and people were saying the dance videographer, I was like, almost, it felt like I was diminishing myself hearing videographer. But then, no, it's actually calm. It's pretty much the same.
Right.
So
So it didn't feel as, like, you'd rather be like, at the beginning, you would have rather been considered like a filmmaker or something that sounds a bit more prestigious. Yeah.
But then even then, someone would say cinematographer and I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah.
But then, it's like pretty much, they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, so I would consider myself a videographer.
Yeah.
Transitioning into becoming a video director.
Nice.
And on the side, I run this OddVenture thing.
Sick.
Which is what that is.
Yeah. So when you say on the path to becoming a video director, what's your end goal with that?
I mean, I've always wanted to be like a storyteller. And I think when I say because I think directors like kind of like in terms of career would be the highest for me.
Okay.
Like directing movies
and stuff. Yeah.
I just think I'm now learning the steps towards that. And I feel like as a videographer, you're filming and you're editing. You'll be doing the lighting and everything.
Yeah.
Now I kind of want it to be, when you then call yourself a video director, what you really should be doing is kind of like only doing a certain part, and then most of the other things is collaborative. So you have a cinematographer and you have an editor,
right?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, me saying I'm going into being a video director means that I'm just kind of make myself be in that kind of niche and proper focus on being great at that.
Yeah. So you use kind of almost like use people as your tools instead of the equipment that you used to use. You're like,
plus, and it's so funny because I watched I can't remember I think it is Now We Shoot or something like that. There was a like a short film based on a filmmaker or a video director, and it was based on a true story, and during that time he ends up he shoots a lot of music videos in the hood, and then he was like, the money's not coming in well, so he needs to go and do something more, like, let me try and get into an agency. So he goes to like a fashion agency, and they're looking at his work and they're like, so who do you work with, like who have you worked with? And he's like, I'm just me, like I just film. And then he clocked that became almost like from you being able to do everything, it actually became a clutch, not a clutch. Is it a clutch? A crutch.
Right.
Crutch in a way, because now
so he didn't know how to work with people.
It shows he doesn't know how to work with people.
Right.
Whereas, I wouldn't say I don't know how to work with people, but
yeah,
you wouldn't see on my portfolio a bag of different.
And it's like a skill that you can develop. Like even if you know how to work with people, it's still in a professional setting to be able to direct and know what you want from each person. It's like sometimes a different skill, I guess.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So yeah, you said you'd go into like more movies and that type of thing as opposed to like
right now it's so I've just kind of moved. I wouldn't say I'm totally separated from dance, but I've just kind of again creating the steps. I was like, okay, I wanted to go into music videos a bit more.
Yeah.
So that was my next thing. Like literally on my way here, I was doing a treatment.
Sick.
Because I hadn't finished it, so I woke up. So I need to get to this, but I was busy doing the treatment. But then now I'm trying to do music videos and work with actors that I've knew from before to create some shorts.
Sick. Nice.
And then get back into doing documentaries as well, because that's what I did before as well.
Nice.
When I was studying. So it's that. And then the end goal is the film directing. But I just want to do as many things that will kind of get me prepared for that.
Yeah, contribute to that and build up your skills and CV, I guess, as well. Sick. So also what I find interesting about you, I think, is like you're one of very few videographers in the dance scene that have like a big name in the dance scene, or like have worked with a lot of good people and have a pretty solid brand in the dance scene, but that wasn't a dancer.
That doesn't dance.
Yeah.
I was waiting for like someone to say this, because it's like, I always get that message like, oh, so do you dance? I was like, no.
Well, I think we just assume after a while.
The funniest thing, because I would go around and I started to clock that as well.
Yeah.
It's something that's even more than the dance scene here. It's wherever I go. So when I went to, I was with the French crumpers, and I just asked them, I was like, you seen the crump scene? Like, even the beat makers, like, are there any of those that didn't crump? And it's like, no, like,
everybody
they've been crumpers. Like, it's like, I'm just that guy that doesn't dance, but is just kind of in the scene or whatever.
Yeah. And I think, we kind of assume that you dance because everyone else does. I think the thing with the dance scene and everybody that, like you said, either beat makers or photographers or filmers or whatever, I think it's from a place of like necessity. That's how I started as well. And I see a lot of other people like that, where it's like, for me, it was, I think for ages ago, we hired a videographer to shoot something. And then when we paid it, I was like, if I do this like 4 times, I can buy my own camera. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, and I mean, some people would prefer to pay to then have to learn and go through all the steps. But I was like, if I learn this, I can do countless other stuff more for us, And I think a lot of people find that, beat makers that were like, oh, I need new music. And it's hard to get hold of new music, and it's all copyrighted when I do. So I'm going to make my own beats, and then we can dance to my beats all the time. And then, so I think a lot of these other things come from like a necessity to provide for ourselves, I guess.
I'll say you have an advantage as well.
Yeah.
You have an advantage. You have an advantage over me.
Right.
Like when it comes to the filming dance.
Yeah, because you know
certain things. From. The amount of times I had to even learn counts and stuff. Yeah. That I didn't even.
I was going to ask you actually, well, how is that? Like, what's the negative sides of not being a dancer? And
there's that.
Yeah. No, like not knowing what counts.
Yeah, like.
Is that when you had to choreograph the camera movements with the routine?
Yeah.
Right.
So stuff like that. That's when my first couple shoots, I was like, bruv, what is going on? I said, what am I doing? And there's been a few dead shoots during like the beginning. I'll say even still now. Yeah. But they're to a minimal now because I've had to teach myself. Yeah. But that so not knowing the lingo. I mean, dance, they all have their
like they speak to you as if you know what's
sometimes
going on.
But then again, it's vice versa, because a lot of dancers don't know film terms. There was like a post that I put on Instagram of like a diagram that showed all like the different camera movements.
Oh, I saw that.
Then, what they're called, and then next to it, what like someone else will call them. So then I was kind of aimed at dancers where they would say pan. Pan. When that's not panning. It's tilting or whatever. But it's pretty much lingo for me. What other disadvantages do I have?
Well, what I was going to ask you about is, I think for me, like, I see branding as being quite important, and I think who you work with can affect your brand. Like as soon as we start seeing loads of people do like class videos, we're like, oh, they're that type of videographer. Or if they're only working with the freestylers, it's like, okay, you're that type. Or if you're only in the UK, you're that. Like, we get people that we see them doing videos with all the French dancers, and we're like, oh, well, that's a French videographer. We just put them in that category kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas like someone like Little Shao with photography, I've spoken about him before, but has kind of transcended where he's from. He's just a world dance scene photographer.
Yeah.
But I think with you, the thing is that like you have quite a good roster of people that you filmed with, and I think that's also what made us pay attention when you first came out. Was like all the videos were like with good people,
right?
And obviously the videos were good as well, but it's also that extra cosign of like, oh, all these good dancers trust you, if you know what I mean, as well as the video being good. And then obviously that snowballs, so the more we see, the more people will trust you because we see that it's good.
Yeah.
But I always thought, like, how did you go from like not being in the dance scene, but then think, oh, these are the people I need to work with? Or did it just happen by accident? Or
well, how I even ended up in dance was weird because I was in uni studying film production, which is, I wouldn't recommend that course, by the way. I'll openly say that.
Yeah.
The only positive I got was I got camera equipment at the last year.
Fair.
But like during the beginning, it was whack.
Right. As in like they just didn't teach you any good stuff? Or?
I can name there was like a handful of like stuff I learned there that I'm still using today.
Oh wow. Damn.
Apart from that,
it's all like stuff you've learned as you
the
went.
benefits I got. And it's so funny because I was so reluctant to go into uni. It was only because of
Didn't you study where I went? West London?
Yeah.
We spoke about this at the very beginning. Yeah, I think maybe when you first started, I was still at West London, and you said you went there, and I was like just leaving or something.
When was this though? Because I wanted to bring this up though. You're the first battle I went to was the Battle Bad. You see when I filmed that for you. That was my first battle.
Oh, mad.
Yeah. So that was like the first time when I was in a proper battle.
Oh, when was that? 2015. True.
It was late 2015, and then we filmed that thing after with
with Inez Valmira, Lee, and Ina.
Yeah.
Sick. Oh, I didn't know that was the first battle you did.
That was the first one.
That's mad.
That was very.
But I'm sure, maybe
it
was around that time or just.
I was just gonna graduate. I would have either graduated or I was graduating that year.
Or maybe it was the opposite way around. Maybe I started when you graduated or something. I can't remember. But I'm sure we were there at a similar time and just never saw each other.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so I studied there.
Getting into dance.
So I studied there.
Yeah.
Again, they were giving me dead cameras at the first year and second year. So the first year I was like, I need to get a camera.
Like how dead are we talking?
Bro, we were using DV cams, like
oh shit, okay.
Tape. So stuff like the funniest
just
situation
super basic,
was
cheap
stuff. But then you're asking us to do certain things like learning about depth of field and shallow focus, and we go out and we're using these DV cams. Obviously, they don't have the capabilities of doing that. So how are you passing us for this kind of thing? But it was dead. So it got to a point where I was like, I need to get myself a camera. So I got myself a camera, and one of my boys. Do you know Tobi Oswald?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So I've known him since childhood.
I was sick.
But
mad.
But properly connected in our teens.
Okay.
But yeah, so I knew he was a dancer, so I was like, I wanted some stuff to practice with. So I was like, I knew he was a dancer. I was like, you're doing a rehearsal, let me come over there and film you freestyle real quick. Filmed that, thought it was dope, and I was like, do you know any other dancers? And he named a few that he admired and stuff. But I always remembered, like, freestyle's always kind of been the one that kind of I looked at and was like, yeah, I like those dancers, or something underground. Even Stomp the Yard, I watched that a lot, and that's where I saw Crump for the first time. Before there's a Rise documentary, but I didn't see that till later. But Crump and like I saw the twins way before because on Facebook they were bait, so they came up. But I was like, where are those dancers? And he didn't know too many of them, so I just started doing my research. And obviously stuff like, I went past the choreography part where he showed me all the Ian Eastwoods and all that, and then I saw obviously Yak Films. Yeah. Because of the twins connection, I was like, okay, let me look through them. So I saw Paradox, Shadow. So like then I just went from there to trying to just email a bunch of them and be like, oh, I'll shoot. Let's just do something. Shadow was one of the first to reply, and I did a video with Shadow. Did a couple videos with Shadow, and then kind of went from there.
Sick.
But yeah, that's kind of how I got.
So it's like through Tobi, then through Shadow.
Yeah,
that you
and then
up.
through like a bunch of others like Ola Papior.
Yeah.
We did a video. Yeah, so she's like the first video of dance on the channel,
and
then Frankie hit me up after that, and then there's just a bunch of people that was hitting me up after that. So after that, I started doing my own research, and then people started hitting me up.
Yeah,
I started finding them. So it went from me doing that to, and I sent some funny emails. Like when I tell you, yeah, because I didn't understand the styles properly.
Yeah, right.
What I kind of wanted to kind of show, because the backstory of the channel was, it was just going to be a platform where I could freely create with different artists,
right,
without the need of having to work through like agents and all that. It was just something that I kind of really wanted to experiment with.
Yeah.
And if it becomes a platform, it becomes a platform, innit? So that's what I was doing. And I was just like, let me send an email to like all these dancers. So I sent an email to a dancer that did dancehall, and I didn't understand dancehall at all.
Yeah.
All I knew is I didn't want it to be about just twerking.
Yeah.
But then that's kind of what I put in the email. And obviously she didn't reply to me. It makes sense. I was like, yeah, I just don't want to show that dancehall's all about twerking. And again, I don't know nothing about
Yeah,
dancehall.
you're just saying stuff.
I'm just saying complete just bullshit.
That's sick. Did you get any other like response? Like, did anyone respond and say no or anything? Or
no one responded to say no.
They just didn't
either you didn't respond or
yeah.
whatever. But then the funniest thing is, like, months later, then they did end up seeing them, and then they end up working with me anyway. So I don't remind them about their thing.
Yeah, yeah. It was like, I hit you up at the beginning.
Yeah.
But also, it's two-sided. Like you kind of, sometimes maybe people need to see.
Yeah, there was nothing to show.
Yeah.
There was nothing to show. It was just, So it went from that. Then the more I started doing that work, I started figuring out who I kind of just saw, who I just thought was dope.
Right. So you always based it on the skill as opposed to like, oh, this person has like influence or this person has followers, nothing like that.
It weren't followers.
Yeah.
I didn't even clock that Shadow had a following.
Right.
I watched the YouTube, Yak Films YouTube, and then I saw his video, and then with Paradox, and then I saw, what else? I think I saw one on, either it was Jason Torres's channel, or it had something to do with Marco, or it was only on Shadow, but I didn't even see the Facebook follow on nothing. It was only after that I was like, oh shit, he's gonna follow me.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this worked out well.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, apart from that, it was really just, I liked what I saw and was like, all right, cool. Well, I'll do a video with you.
Sick.
And then after that, I just kind of started to just say, these are the kind of people that I feel I want to work with. And that was it, really.
Interesting. So how do you feel like, because I guess when you started, you were just like a guy that was like, oh, hey, I like dancing. I want to, do stuff. I guess now, with how much you've kind of grown into the scene, your videos and who you choose to shoot with and what you choose to shoot and how you do it, like now you're like a part of the scene in the sense that the stuff that you do has influence over maybe not the entire direction of the scene, but you're definitely like part of what moves it in different ways. Do you know what I mean? Especially being that you're putting people on a platform in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Like you're putting them in your videos and stuff. So have you felt a change, or have you felt any responsibility in that of like, oh, I've got to maintain shooting with certain people, or I can't shoot with this person, or I can't, you know what I mean? Anything like that?
When you say that, is this more towards OddVenture or me personally? Because then that was something that I had to separate. I didn't, but if I didn't say that, people wouldn't have known. And I've been getting this before. It was only during this lockdown that I actually clocked that I needed like a way to separate myself from
the company.
Because, and it's not even a company yet, but we can just say it's a brand. It's a brand. But what started to get a bit like complex in a way was just the fact that because I didn't differentiate the two, I was doing jobs, but people were thinking that's a job, an OddVenture job, but it weren't. It was just me doing the job and getting paid. So it was more like separate myself as a videographer or filmmaker and say, this is what I do when you book me. But when you book me, that's not you booking OddVenture.
Interesting.
So I'd rather have OddVenture be that thing, and kind of what I've kind of let it be now is just an umbrella for any creative kind of thing that I kind of want to go into. It's a passion project.
Right.
And if it's able to kind of grow from that, then that's sick. But there's no real pressure on me to kind of pave the way for whatever or kind of maintain something, because that's what I did feel that pressure last year.
Okay.
When it even just for something like the Link Up series.
Yeah.
When I did that was based off of two things. Like number one was I just felt I wasn't consistent in uploading.
Right.
Because the years before that, it was like maybe 3 or 4 a year, and I was like, oh, that's dead. Like that's just dead. I was like, oh, I feel like I can do more.
Yeah.
And then there's just a lot of people that I wanted to work with, so it was like the two kind of fell in line. I was like,
so just explain the concept, but for anyone that doesn't know about it, what was the plan at the beginning?
Oh, the Link Up series. The plan was to do a one-shot freestyle video with 2 or more people.
Cool.
In each video. All of them had to be a different group of people for each video.
Yeah.
And I was going to do 1 a week.
Okay.
So that was 52 videos.
Right.
Didn't happen.
How far did you get?
Didn't happen. I think we got to 23 or 20. It was either 23 or up to 26.
That's still
people were saying that, but I felt failure.
Right.
I thought, that's
well, yeah, because when you set your standard at a higher thing. But I mean, still doing, even if you said like I'm going to do like 6 months worth. I
only
videos.
clocked after when I did the battle. That's when I was like, oh right, yeah, I need a break. Then after that, I just didn't do the videos in the end because I was just like, yeah,
this is long.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot.
Yeah.
But
and how did you find people's response to that? Like, did you find it hard to find dancers, or did you have to turn people down? How did that work out? Because the idea was it's 2 or more dancers, but did you pick them, or were you open to anyone applying, or how did it work?
So the first thing I did, because I remembered, so it's something I kind of brought back because when I first did the battle, I think that was 2017, the first one, I did a little promo to do a promo with that. I did dance
I remember.
videos. You were involved, you and Jenny.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, we were. Yeah, I remember we did that, but I didn't remember it was for the battle. But yeah, true.
Yeah, so
and you did Ice and Evian.
Yeah, so we did
others.
that, but that was to kind of promote. It was to get the videos out there with some dope dancers, but also to promote the battle. Yeah. So at the end, it was like
because it was a 2-on-2 battle. So
so I just wanted pairs. Yeah, so I did that. So off the back of that, I was like, oh, let me do that again.
Sick.
And I put out like a post on Instagram saying if anyone wants to get involved with that.
Yeah.
And a few people got in contact, so I was like, all right, cool, we'll do that. Then I just started picking and asking people who they wanted to see. And then after that, once it wasn't that much of a reception when initially before the videos were even out.
Right.
But then after the videos, I already started listing who I was going to work with, and we had them kind of set in stone. Then after that, just people started hitting me up.
Once they started coming out.
Yeah, I was just like, people started hitting me up, and I was like, bro, I can't. This the 52 kind of gone because I had plans to go LA as well. So I had the LA contacts. I was like, I need to work with them, and then France as well. I did go to France and end up filming a couple.
Yeah.
But then so with that in mind, I couldn't accept these people. I was like, but we'll kind of do something if something happens. And then the sickest thing was that when people ended up having to drop out for whatever reason,
you had people.
Yeah, because like it's funny because the video with Tally, that wasn't...
Tally and Ivan's one?
No,
or the one with
the Link Up series. Tally with
who was it?
Will.
Will, and
is it Che or Shay?
I don't actually know. I'm really sorry if he's listening.
Che. I'm gonna say
I know the guy who's
Shay.
Yeah.
But then if I'm wrong, just tell me I'm wrong, innit?
Sorry, guys.
It's cool.
we be fucking people.
That really dope dancer.
Yeah.
That's just sick.
Yeah, he's sick if that helps.
He's very sick.
We just like we're reading people's name on Instagram and we don't know how to pronounce shit.
Yeah, but I know his name.
Yeah.
It's like it's CHE with a with whatever that
with a little thing. Yeah.
But so that one initially that wasn't supposed to be that. It was supposed to be Tally and someone else. But then something happened there. Person got injured, so I had to pull out. And then I didn't have one for the next for that week. But then Tally quickly responded, was like, yo, they're down to do it. Sick. I think it was on the same day. It was like, they're down to do it. So we just linked up in South and found something to do it and then shot it. So it was one of them ones. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, that was really
especially
nice.
flipping Tally just coming up like ding to start off. But like I was just down for all like everything that was kind of happening that was very spontaneous. Like I didn't want no pressure on anyone to do. It was just like we link up, we find somewhere.
Yeah.
We found a location. Same one with you.
We did. Yeah, me, Vanessa.
Did you have
Michelle.
the initial place?
I think
you did. But then even then when we were there, like we nearly got kicked out.
Yeah, I think we knew that we was like, let's meet up at Elephant and Castle, and then we tried different places and we ended up on that square.
And I was like, you pick the track.
Yeah.
Or I might pick the track. Like
you pick
the track.
I don't even think it was me. I think it was Vanessa
on
or
Facebook somewhere.
Someone picked it.
Someone
Who
picked
knows?
it. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, it was all about anyone could choose a track. And just being spontaneous and found locations and whatnot.
The thing is, that's a lot of free work you were doing, kind of thing. Did you have like something you wanted to get back from it that was like bigger than the money? Was it more like for promotion? Was it more for your personal progression? Because it's like, the way I was seeing it is like, also your work, you're shooting every week with all these different dancers for free, which is like, for us, like a godsend. But yeah, so what was the trade-off like that made you not want to charge for it?
There's no why am like I said, like I thought OddVenture is a passion project anyway.
Right.
So it's free. I don't gain anything from it. Like there's unfortunately there's no views, but that's what it is. And like I never kind of looked at. I think it was funny. The first time I started the channel was when views was a thing.
Right.
It was like as soon as, because I just thought, oh, when I do this and I post the first video,
it will just shoot up. Yeah, right.
And it didn't. Like it was a music session, because I wanted to do music sessions. There was a bunch of things I wanted to do, and I still want to do. But it was a music session, and yeah, obviously it started slow. No one knew what the hell it was. But then off that, I was just like, my ego was like,
hurt.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, why am I doing this thing?
Yeah.
But then I removed that time ago, so it wasn't really about that. It was just, it's a passion project, and wherever it kind of goes, it goes. Mm-hmm. So with that, because it's a passion project anyway, there's no reason for me to charge, and it's just a platform anyway. Yeah. So that was that. But then again, separating that from work was something that I had to kind of do, because I remember before, when I first did things, it was almost like, oh, now that you've done that, like you shouldn't charge for a video that I want to do. And I was just like, nah.
So what, as in people were suggesting that?
It was kind of, yeah.
Right.
It was kind of like, that was kind of it. And I was just like, nah.
As in,
don't really work like that.
Like, so people were like, maybe it wasn't part of the series, but they were trying to get you to do other things for free as well.
Anything. So something that was outside of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they felt that they don't need to be charged for it or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
and it's like, yeah, that you're not just a free videographer.
Yeah.
Like, it just was one series that you were doing.
Yeah.
Interesting. What I was going to ask you, what do you feel about, those police sirens are very loud. Sorry if you can hear that, guys.
South.
Yeah, trust. What do you feel about like working with dancers? How's that been? Like, as opposed to any other industry that you've worked in, you find us worse or better, or how does it work?
You're all annoying.
Yeah,
no, I'm joking.
That's true.
No,
but
it's
annoying.
not. It's not even that. It's been good.
Yeah.
Because I've just learned how to. I think with any artist in general, because that's one thing that I clocked, is it's not really. There was times when I had like clashes with people.
Yeah. Like what sort of clashes?
Just you know that, especially even doing something that you're expressing as an artist, you're sensitive about your stuff, like as in the way it kind of is. So if you think it's dead,
yeah,
then
if the artist thinks
it's dead,
yeah,
like, or they think what they've done is dead, and then it's that always having to revise all of that, because it's that constant thing where like they might feel that they're dead or whatever. And then I'm like, no, visually, this is sick.
Right.
So
they're not looking at it from an external perspective.
Yeah, so but vice versa. So I might look at it, be like, that little hiccup was nothing. Like, just, it's a sick shot. Like, what are you doing? But then at the same time, you kind of got to think as well. It's like, it's for both parties.
True.
But it's that. What was the questions?
Like dancers being harder or easier, or how do like any problems you've come up against?
That's like a problem. That becomes a problem.
Just like dancers are being perfectionists about stuff that maybe won't matter.
Right. Yeah. Like no one saw it.
Yeah.
Like no one saw that. But then it's more that. I think.
But then you might feel the same, I guess, about like something went wrong with the gimbal or the this or that, and then they're like, "Oh, it doesn't matter because we killed the routine," and it's like, "No, it matters."
It's the same thing. Even the work I just did with a video with Jade, I did.
Mm-hmm. Jade
Hackett. Yeah, there's a video we did recently where I was just like, there was just like a bit. I'm always like, oh, that little bit there, because I know that wasn't supposed to happen. Instantly, I'm like, cut that out, man. We can go like a second later. But then she was like, no, this needs to be there. And I was like, you know what, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's more people just being Where the clashes kind of come from is them just being aware of what they kind of want out and what they don't. So it's that, but I feel like that's with any artist in general. So I would think and be like, man, like dance is just sensitive, or whatever. But then it's not. I just realized it's not even that. It's just
once you work with other artists, you're like, oh, everybody's
it's the same thing.
Everybody's like this.
There's that, and I don't feel like this ain't a clash with dancers. It's just something that I kind of realized moving forward in terms of like me making money and being able to do, because being self-employed, is I just realized that dance ain't, if you're looking to make money from just dance, then especially as a videographer or even maybe as a dancer,
probably
the same, but like you're not going to last, bruv. You won't even last a month if it's just bro, you're flirting with me. It's like from that message, the WhatsApp message,
guys, like, we accidentally touched toes.
No, we didn't accidentally. Man's doing footsies with me. I don't know what's going on.
All right, fine. I touched his toes on purpose. They were just there.
Cool, it's out. No,
embarrassing me. Yeah,
it's more like you're not gonna make money from it.
Yeah, I feel you.
So it's like, and I always had a rate, and then even my rate now, it's already too much for dancers, but that's a rate that I'm giving just for dancers.
Right, then, so that's your lower rate.
It's like, that's like lower, but it's like, I can only get 2 dancers, but then outside of that, I'm charging way more. Because again, I managed for a while with just my Sony, then I got another camera and then invested in more equipment. And it's like, bruv, you need to get that money back and then be prepared for the next 2 years, because you're going to need to invest in another set of gear again, because that's just how tech works, unfortunately. It's like everything depreciates after a year. As soon as you get a camera, you're like, bro, that's it. Yeah. And then 4K comes and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Trust me. Yeah.
Then the stabilizer comes, oh, okay, cool, I got to get that too. Yeah. Because it becomes a demand for who you're working with as well.
Yeah, people want certain things.
Exactly. So when I clocked that, I was like, all right, cool, well, I just kind of only take a few jobs with dancers, but then that's literally like side, and then the rest of it is what's going to sustain me for the month. So that was my main thing when it came with dance. But I don't really have, apart from all the clashes that I may have with dancers, is just them, I don't know if safeguarding is the right word, it's just looking out for their own stuff. Right. At the end of the day, they're putting themselves out, and the same with I'm putting myself out, so you just got to make sure that everything is calm. Lateness though. Yeah. Lateness.
Let's talk about it.
Lateness. That's one thing. I've rarely been late, and someone can call me out if I've been late, but I don't like to be late.
Showed up here 15 minutes early, so you're good on that one.
But it's like I don't like to be late, but then working and then someone coming up late, especially when you've been booked. If you've been booked and then the person's late, and then now the shoot ends up running over time. Yeah. And you're like, well, surely I'm gonna have to charge for that now. Yeah. Like, I've rarely done that. I've rarely done it because I was just like, I would just feel like, oh, it's bad mind, don't do that. But then,
but you kind of have to sometimes.
It's like, bro, and it just kind of stops from either like you taking a piss, like, and then it might even feel like, now if I did a video and it was an OddVenture video, then sometimes someone might show up late, and then it's that, or it's another one that I think I found with, I can't even really say dance, I just feel like just people in general, because especially in social media, and it's just a mess. I'm even aware of my socials, because OddVenture is I've seen the decline, because I've not posted, but it's like, it's the reality of it. It's like, I just can't, I'm not gonna post until, I was tempted to, especially with the introduction of Reels that you don't like. But when Reels came, I was like, well, I could just reuse old footage and just be like, whatever, because that thing's going on a mad one. But then I don't really want to do that. Like, I'm really thinking of like the next project. But then because of COVID and everything, couldn't really do them, and I kind of pushed them. But I knew that just keeping quiet on it, I'm going to end up losing the traction or the followers or whatever. So that's kind of gone down. I've seen that. I'm just like, all right, it's going to go down or whatever. But then there was this thing where someone might collab and then just kind of immediately take that, and they got the video, so now they ghost. And just like,
as in what? As in like they were talking to you and being your friend?
It's not even a friend. It's just more like, it's fake support. Someone was like, okay, you've done a video, and I'm not gonna say any names. I'm just letting you know that now.
Put you out there.
It's like someone followed me, hit me up, and was like, "Yeah, let's do a video." So then once the video's done, it's like, all right, I'll just bounce, and it's like,
don't speak to you anymore, and
it's like, bruv,
yeah,
where you going? But the thing is, it's like, but that's just people in general. I just figured that's like a social thing. But then it's more with that. I just deep that then from a connection level, it's kind of like just deep in that we're not all. It's not all like that. Like we're not connected like that.
Yeah.
It's like social's going to tell you another story anyway.
Yeah, but I think it's like I think people think that, which is true, that like we do work for our friends for free. Like it's true, and I think they think that they have to pretend to be your friend or to like your work a lot to get something for free or whatever, or to get it for cheap or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, you should have some integrity. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm sure I could do that and like pretend to be friends with people and be like, get work for free. But it's like, I don't want to do it like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, or like there's other, like, so that's, and B is like, there's other ways to do it. Like if, I can't speak for you, but if someone hit me up and was like, here's the idea I have, like, I know we haven't spoke before, but I have a really interesting idea. Like, would you like to collaborate, blah, blah. Yeah. If I thought the idea was cool, I'd talk about it, you know? I might not have the time. I might not be able to do it. I might not want to, but it's like, I'll have the conversation. If you just hit me up and ask nicely and propose it, you know, you don't have to pretend to be my best friend just to get something for free. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's the thing. It's like, yes, it's a human thing, and obviously like we're all artists and we're all hustling and trying to find a way to get what we can and get the hookups and stuff like that. But it's like, if you don't have an actual friend that will do it for you, then it's like, kind of pretending to love someone's work and stuff is a bit, crosses a line for me, you know? It's like, just be real about it. Just say, yo.
But that's the main thing. It's just there. I was just like, raw. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's like, you're that kind of person. But again, it's just, that's just that, to be fair. Yeah. And then you kind of realize that it's just the same dog eat dog kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's funny because that's kind of mentioned, and people kind of say that that's a US thing. Like I've heard it from the dance scene, maybe the choreographer side. It's like when you go over to LA, it's like you see a lot of fake people.
Right. Well, I mean, LA has that reputation as a place outside of the dance scene, I think. I don't know. I've only been there once. But
I was supposed to go this year.
Yeah. And then got fucked.
They cancelled it, and they cancelled like 4 months in advance. Then again, it's like, I can't really go there with what's going on right now.
True.
Anyway. It's like, all right, well, that's what that was.
Yeah, but I think like I can imagine if LA has that reputation outside of the dance scene, it probably is the same in the dance scene, isn't it?
People I know, they are cool though. But there's that kind of stigma with that. But I feel like that's just, it's here too. So it's kind of everywhere.
Do you find you've been like, you've got wrapped up in anything in London as well, of like, I don't know, like being around a certain bunch of people, or being around a certain scene, or do you feel a bit like separate, like you can kind of go where you need and that kind of thing?
You mean in the dance scene?
Yeah, just in terms of like who you associate with and stuff. Like, have you felt like, because I know in dance, like you kind of, I guess we all have our scenes. Like I would be more like the battle scene side of things, and I wouldn't be so, like, nobody knows me really in the choreography scene, like, or the commercial scene really, besides my friends that I've had from.
Keep knocking this thing.
That's all right. So I guess like I've kind of ended up in this side of the scene, and like my friendship groups have developed there and stuff like that. Whereas like I have friends in that scene, but because I'm not there all the time, I'm not, you know, in contact, I'm not building new friendships as much. And therefore, like in the videography, photography side, I don't get a lot of work. Like the amount of times I get hit up to do class videos is minimal compared to like.
Yeah, but you don't want to be doing them anyway.
If the money was there, I would.
No, that was one I hated the most.
Really?
Yeah.
In what way?
It was the sense of, when I first did it, it was just weird to me, because I knew that was like for many people, that's like a private place.
Right. So it was like.
So it's like it's more like, it's like, and you're just there, kind of just in their face while they're trying to learn something, or they're trying to fail, depending on how you kind of would perceive class. Because I knew I was in a drama school for a bit. Yeah. And I knew that there were certain things that we kind of did And one of our teachers always said that this was a space for us to fail. And like the outside is where you kind of put on your suit and your because you like have to it's how you it's how you present yourself whenever you walk out. You have to present yourself a certain way. Whereas like in this space, you can be as free as whatever and make mistakes. So with that in my mind, and I started doing classes, it was like, well, I think people are kind of going in for that same thing to kind of like mess up if they're taking a hard class, because you want to kind of learn in it. So then I'll be in there in the beginning of the class and be filming, and like you can tell people don't feel comfortable. So it was that. So it's like now you're clocking that, you're making someone feel awkward, and it's like that's dead. It was only when I started observing other people and the way they handled it is because they will step out and they won't even come in until like half the class. It was when you kind of clock on, and also doing it consecutively like a lot, you start clocking that you don't need to film that first part of the class. There was nothing going on. So you just come back, get your moments and whatever, and then let them do whatever. And then hopefully everyone's in a good place for when you're doing like maybe a select group or whatever.
So how do you feel about like the classes where the point of why people are there is like, oh, I want to get filmed for the routine or this or that? Do you know what I mean? Is that different?
Well, if you want to do that, then calm. I don't really know, but I don't know those classes.
Okay, you weren't getting hired for that sort of class?
I don't think I was.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Was I?
Because I know there's a lot of classes where, especially when it's like workshops or stuff, and they, you know, it's all for like...
Plus we did workshops. Yeah, we did, yeah. So random. I'm going back, I'm just thinking, there's so much random stuff. Really random. Like we did classes as well. And like workshops. So
with OddVenture.
Down. Yeah, so
I was going to ask you about this. Yeah, go on.
Random. Yeah. And that came out because... again, that was Tobi's idea. That was Tobi basically suggested it.
Right.
I had
the
a
other
friend,
Tobi.
Larkin Poynton. He was in London, and he couldn't get a class. And then Tobi was like, "Well, why don't you just? I'm sure you can throw it." And I was like,
"Why not?"
All right, cool. Yeah. So we did that, and it was a really dope class. I hadn't seen classes set out in the way that he did them.
So Tobi basically organised that, you mean? Or,
no, he just suggested it. And
you mean the way Larkin did it?
The way Larkin taught the class. Sorry. I hadn't seen anyone kind of do that. It was like that whole thing about me saying that the beginning of class feels awkward and whatever, all that kind of goes out the window when they kind of, him and Chris, the way that they kind of structure classes is different to what I had seen before, like doing classes.
Okay, nice.
And when I filmed it, it just felt more like a documentary. If you go and watch that, it feels more like a documentary. It's longer than an average class video. A class video is like 3 minutes of just in your face, select groups and solos. But then this was more about the class and what he's kind of teaching, and it felt more. So when I did that, I was like, that's sick. Like, who else teaches like that? I was like, oh, we should just bring them down. And that whole process was just man random because I didn't have to do that. Then it was only when I started losing a lot of money and losing my camera. I was like, okay, this doesn't make any sense.
So what was the deal with that? Were you just self-funding everything?
Yeah.
Mad.
It didn't, again.
So what was it like? Okay, you self-fund, like, I'm going to pay for the venue and the teacher's fee and stuff, and then I'm going to get the money back through class fees.
Hopefully.
Right.
Yeah, obviously.
And that didn't happen as well?
No, we rarely. And it started to annoy me because even I started bringing other people on. So Tobi was like, yeah, let me help out. So then now he's losing his money. And I was like, bro, I don't think this is how this is supposed to go, you know?
This is like the opposite of business.
I don't really I sat you down and said, bro, we're going to do this. And the money we make. It's like, we ain't making nothing.
Well, what was it that went wrong in a sense? Like, was it that you didn't charge enough, or was it that teachers too expensive?
I think a couple of things went wrong. First of all, is realizing that in order to get something out like that, and you had to be a part of the scene firstly, because again, that's me saying as OddVenture, come take class, but like people didn't know who I was in the first. Again, I think I came into the scene 2015.
You're right.
Then late 2015 is when Larkin's class happened. Again, I just got here. Then 2016, I'm then doing a bigger one with Quick Crew. Did you fly them in, or were they already? So Larkin's one wasn't. That's where I started clocking that. Larkin's was kind of like a one-off thing. Okay. because then after one, I did bring him down and had to pay for his flights and stuff.
Where's he from?
No money. He's from Colorado.
Okay.
But then he has I think he's dual nationality, so he's from Spain as well. Okay. So then there's times when he spends time with his family in Spain.
Right. So it'd be easier to bring him in.
Yeah. So then we brought him from like somewhere in, I think it was like Lithuania.
Right.
So it was cheaper, but then at the same time, you're doing that, then you're paying for rates. The first initial thing, it was Larkin was like, I need to take a class. I would love to teach. We hired Huskies, split the money 50-50. He was like, yeah, cool.
With Tobi?
No, he wasn't involved in that.
Oh, sorry, you're talking with Larkin. Sorry,
with Larkin, with Larkin.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And then when I saw that, I was together. Like, oh, okay, cool. That's how it works. Then when I start emailing people going, no, you got to kind of fly them down. I was like, oh, it's not when you're in London, it's more, no, you bring them down to teach.
Yeah.
So then when I started, that happened, and I didn't know anyone. So me putting it out and then Tobi kind of spreading the word, he knew people, but then again, it's very closed off. It's like body politic kind of people, and there wasn't a lot there. So that was why we were losing money. Then also not knowing the right places to book, because we booked somewhere like, so Quick Crew, we booked Dominion Theatre.
Okay, where's that?
That's in Tottenham Court Road. The big...
Oh, okay, right.
So they had a rehearsal room, or like a studio. Yeah, they had a studio, but that was money.
Right.
That was like, I think it was 900.
Holy shit! For what? To teach a class?
To teach. Yeah. To host an event.
Oh, okay.
So even if you mention class or whatever, they're like,
it doesn't matter, whatever you're doing.
They put the VAT and everything, and then it's like,
holy crap.
Oh. So then, but then again, we're like, oh no, we'll still make money because it's Quick Crew and people will love to see it. And again, we had feedback from others saying, yeah, Quick Crew will be dope. And those people didn't come.
Right. So what sort of turnout did you get for that one?
We got a decent, it was like 50, we're saying, which is still good, but it was still way off what we needed to even break even.
Right.
I think we needed like 70 to break even.
Okay, right.
And then I had to take 3 classes. So it was like, bro, you messed up. Even when we got Quick Crew as well, it's like, yeah, we just messed up.
Yeah.
So it's like when you
like
realize
overestimated the demand.
Overestimated it. And again, what it took, but it's like when you're in the classes and you see it, and I filmed it and I was like, just the fact that people enjoyed it and everything was good enough. And then we're kind of like, oh, it's just an investment.
Yeah.
Next time we'll get better. And it weren't getting better. I think the only one we kind of made money back from was when Larkin and Chris did Project Home. Okay. So when we did that and they had Roby and O'Neill and Tally all involved, that's when we kind of broke even. But then after that was like, yeah, let's stop doing this because the Quick Crew one, I lost my camera.
Oh shit!
As in, I had to sell my camera because I went over to LA, came back broke.
Jesus.
But then it was round the corner, so it was like the next month. So I was like, well, I have this.
You sold it to fund the thing.
To fund it, thinking that I will make back the money, but I went down like by at least $1,000. So then I was like, I couldn't even get the camera.
So
back.
now you're down $1,000. Down
a camera. So I didn't have a camera for like a whole pregnancy, like 9 months.
Wow, Jesus.
So it was like close to 9 months. Didn't have a camera, so I was just doing random stuff, and I was still working part time.
What did you do? Did you hire? Huh? Did you hire a camera, or what did you leave it?
So like if I had a booking, I would hire, but then it wasn't enough because then the hire fees
doesn't cover.
Yeah, so you're losing money even doing the events. So if I did a dance event, so during that time I did, what event did I do? Where Dwayne nearly broke the camera. Show and Prove.
Ah, okay.
Dwayne Taylor nearly broke the camera.
Jesus.
He came in, was a crowd. Yeah, you were there. I swear.
I don't remember that.
But and you were next. I think you were near me.
Oh.
But there's a moment in there where Dwayne's come in, and I could feel him getting close. But I'm like, there's no way he's gonna. And
he knows I'm here.
He elbow dropped the camera, and I'm just like
a hired camera,
and it was like, yeah, I like that. I'm like, what just happened? So I've come around and I try to look at the camera. I look back at the footage and Shadow and Dwayne White Talent.
Yeah.
He had seen it. So I'm seeing the funny...
They're laughing.
I've seen Shadow. Yeah, I've seen all the reactions. It's bare funny. But at the time it wasn't funny, but I was like, yo.
I bet.
Bro, if this camera's broken, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was alright in the end.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. There was a cage on it, so it was calm. But yeah, so I was renting, but I wasn't making back money. Yeah. So eventually when I got my own camera, I was like, all right, cool. It's time to get the money up. But it's time to put a stop to this thing because you're losing money now. What's going on in it? So you need to think about what you're doing. So because the battle that you ran was after all this, right? So what made you do? And the first battle was we would say financially was a flop.
Yeah. So what made you go through all that and then think I want to run a battle?
Oh, you do the OB battle the second time.
Yeah, well, okay. So when was the first one?
So the first one was
that in the middle?
In fact, that was after losing. Yeah, that was after losing my camera.
So you thought,
but then I had a new camera after that. Yeah. But then it was more. because I had the partnership with Studio Free Arts.
Yeah.
Jade got that for me.
Right.
So I spoke to. So we had a free venue.
Right.
And
so then it's a lot less.
Yeah. So we didn't. So I lost money in that, but it weren't. I think that was the same year we did Project Home. Actually, was it? Right. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we didn't lose that much money. I mean, I had enough to pay the judges and everything. And again, it was like low pay and whatever.
Yeah.
So then did all that, and then we didn't really get the attendance. I think that was something to do with there was Pride that same day, and then there was some madness with like transport, so that flopped it.
I think I remember that actually.
Yeah, because you weren't.
Was that the second? Yeah, I know. But I think it was because of the trains and stuff. I was like, oh, that's
to be fair, and
far.
Also it was in Redbridge as well. It was far.
Yeah, because I think it was a Sunday, wasn't it? And it was like all the train cancellations. It was Redbridge, wasn't it? Yeah, I do remember cancellation.
No, it was Barking. Sorry, Barking.
Did you do one in Redbridge as well?
No. It was Barking.
Oh, I'm just bailing on events all over the place. I'm like, oh, remember that other one I didn't go to too?
Yeah, just everything. So we did that and it flopped. I think the only time I bought it back last year, based off of something just completely different. It was more like, and to be fair, I want to even say that the first one was just like a little thing. It wasn't. I don't want to keep that. I wish I didn't say it was the OV Battle Volume 2 because they were both different things because this one had my own concept and its own vision for it. Like it was that one was just to do an event, but this one was just like I'm trying to kind of do something where hopefully it's something I'll be in London for a while.
Yeah.
Because when I was traveling as well, people were like they want to come to London, but they didn't really have events to kind of go to. And I was confused by that, but then I realized there weren't a lot of battles, and these were just battlers telling me they didn't want to come to London, and there weren't really anything there. So I was like, let me just try and do like a concept because I heard about there was like things like either Fusion Concept or I Love This Dance like being here. I think you were involved at one point. It was like the money was or something like that. I can't remember.
Spoke to them. Yeah. Oh, did I tell you about that?
I just you speak a lot on Facebook, bro.
I'm not sure.
Attention.
Did I mention that on Facebook? I'm sure,
bro.
That was I had a very brief conversation with Canon. Well, not even a conversation. I looked into bringing Fusion Concept to London.
Yeah.
Saw the requirements and realized I was way out of my depth and went, nah, like just because I didn't realize this at the time. We had been running battles, a few of them here, and we did like the Battle Bad qualifier, which was cool, and we had a good deal with them, and it wasn't so bad. We were in talks to do the Euro Battle qualifier here, and that didn't go our way. But then I realized with a lot of the bigger battles, which I don't know if people realize, but they have requirements, so you can't just say I'll bring Just Taboo or Fusion Concept or KOD, whatever here, and just say, I'm gonna just run it and I'll provide you a winner. It's like it has to be a certain size venue with a certain seat. It has to have like you have to fly in certain people from their team. They have to be in certain level of accommodation and food, and so there's way more that goes into it. Like I think some competitions have a fee before any of that. There's a fee just to use the name. I don't know if Fusion Concept had that. But there's just like a licensing fee or franchise fee, I guess. So I mean, I had a very brief conversation about what the requirements would be with the Fusion Concept team, and then as soon as I saw them, I was like, "There's no way I'm doing this unless I get funding." Just off my own back, so 100%. I was just like, "No, thank you. Maybe another year."
But that was why. So with that in mind, or having all these battles that weren't our battles, it was just others. I was like, no, I kind of want to have our own kind of thing, like something that's UK. So that's why I was like, let me just try and think of a concept.
Cool.
And even then, I still feel like my battle was not even a. How can I say this? Because someone told me this before. They were like, they heard the concept, they saw the concept, and was like, "Oh, it will be a fun battle, but it's not a battle. Like it's not a competitive battle in that sense." And I was like, at first, I was like, "Should I be triggered?" I was like, "Nah, man, we can make this." Like, because I'm just all for like, I like the competition in battles. I like going to battles and seeing it being competitive. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? Fine. If it's even something for fun, at least it's something it's a community event, and it's at least somewhere where we can say it's a UK or a London battle, and people can come down and go to. And thankfully, when we did run the battle, people came outside of London, which I wasn't expecting.
Nice.
But yeah, it's we ran that, but that was again, and I technically lost money with that, but it wasn't as bad, and also it at least gave me kind of something to. I'm pushing more now with that just to have funding, actually get funding, and
it's something to use as leverage, I guess.
Yeah, because I think it's about blowing my own trumpet. I think it's a dope concept, and I think it went well,
nice.
Given certain things.
Yeah.
And there's more to kind of push with it. So yeah.
Sick. So what was your like? You're doing all these things like with the dance scene and OddVenture and stuff like that. But what was your main like? What was your other income, or was it only from dance side? Like where were you working elsewhere?
So, was in self-employed?
Yeah, like what other jobs were you doing that weren't dance based?
That weren't dance based. So music videos.
Okay.
Events. What else? Something I did that was really that was dance based too. Because we did a tour. Like it was a tour with a musician, but he brought dancers along, and but then it's just a lot of things that just pretty much government funded or run by a company that has more to put down.
Yeah.
So there's anything that kind of does that. So that.
Fair enough. Yeah. So then you were kind of doing that bits and pieces alongside the dance stuff.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Just trying to think. What else intrigues me about you? No, there's loads, mate. There's loads. So you've been how long? Since 2015. So it's been like 5 years in the dance scene.
Yeah, which is mad. I looked at my channel recently. I was like, oh, snap, that's 5 years.
Yeah. So when you first were looking at the channel, it was like you were kind of trying to do like a Yak Films type of thing.
It was more. Again, it's just a random. That's why it's probably
because you wanted like a platform. You said like
it was just somewhere where I wanted to put. I had to create with other people, and then it kind of become a platform. I think in the long term, like a long-term goal for me for OddVenture would be to establish it as a production company. If I'm a director, I would kind of want a production company that we could produce films.
Yeah.
But then even from an online kind of thing, it is a platform. Like I can't really kind of go around that because people go back. Someone even told me when Ivan, which I'm still like, why are you bringing me, putting me in on all these things? Ivan with his with cross-platform, because he screened my videos on the first one, and then in the second one he screened the whole of the Link Up series, which I thought was sick. So when I went down, I was like, right, that's mad.
That is cool.
But like someone told me it was like literally what you've made is kind of like a dance archive for people. And I did, even when I did that, I wanted to kind of make sure that I put someone that didn't have a video. Braze, I hadn't seen him do a video or even Crooked as well. So I was like, let's just put them in a video and see what turns out in it. Same with Jordan Douglas as well. But yeah, it's like, what was the question?
No, we were just talking about that. It's been like 5 years or so, and the stuff that you've done. You were saying about that. About I said about Yak Films
platform. And having a platform. Yeah, that's it. Right. So it's just always been a platform, but I don't want it to. It's not a Yak Films. I think in future, if anything, it would be somewhere where there would be stories in there. That's kind of where I'm leaning towards next,
right?
Or just to do something that I've never done before. But this ain't just tied down to dance. I think for a long time it has been because, first of all, when I initially pitched the idea, just a lot of dancers, I was able to get dancers involved quick
with the link up
with OddVenture in general. Because like collaborating, it was like I had all these avenues I wanted to tap into. I was like, oh, let's do spoken word music sessions, which I did was when the first couple of videos were music sessions, films and documentaries. And then for some reason it was just dance all the way through. And
well, I feel like dance is quite easy to film because it's like you don't need anything. You could just go outside and you just need a person and a camera. Whereas like musicians, you need different like mics to mic and stuff.
Mics were a big one, to be fair. Yeah.
You don't need any of that for a dance. You just slap a song over the top.
Exactly. So I think maybe that's why. But then with that in mind, and I could do that again and it could just be very quick.
Yeah.
But then I'll rather take my time and actually have it be, I don't want to say put quality over everything because I still think visually there were some quality stuff in there. It's just even because it was consistent doesn't make it, the quality's not there. It's just maybe taking time to actually develop certain things. Like only one thing from that channel that I feel like I actually put in an actual concept was the one with Robio, Tally and Yoey, the one in the studio, black and white. But yeah, that wasn't even all planned out, but at least there was a concept in mind. The others I was just like, yeah, let's just kind of
just shoot. Yeah.
Now I kind of want to probably be like, all right, there needs to kind of be a proper agenda, like
have a bit more depth to the video, and
So that's it. But then if it could still be a platform for people, then dope. But I'm not taking that pressure. Because that's just long. I've already pressurized to do better. There's a lot of pressure going on already. It says like with my art or like anything that I want to do for passion, I'm not gonna let that be like some kind of thing to put pressure on me at all.
So would you say that like, have you taken a step back from doing work with dancers, or you still feel like just as in it as you are? You were?
If I'm hit up to get booked, I'll give you the rate. But even then, it's like I'll take a couple a month, and just so that I don't end up doing the same thing. Because then there's that. There's a formula. There's a formula in dance videos, which is kind of got it to become a little bit boring.
Right.
And I want to say it's a lot of people are doing different things, but the majority of it is like there's a formula, which is one of the reasons why I hated at the beginning gimbals. I hated them. But then the things before we
spoke about this.
Before that, we had the
Steadicams,
which I'm so to be fair, I'm happy that the stabilizers came around because I was dead with that thing.
Yeah,
terrible. Bro, that thing will go another place and be like, raw. And then you think it's not that heavy, then it is heavy. And you're like, all right, cool. I think with my own setup, I think I'll be able to do it now, but back then, no.
Yeah.
But because it just becomes, there's a standard formula to it, and I don't really like.
There's like a look that people want, which is the gimbal moving in and out.
There's a moving it in and out. That's literally it. It's just in and out. And then I look at it, and then
especially for class videos are the ones that are like
but then
mad for
it
that.
Went into my work. Because then it's what people wanted.
Because you're practicing.
Like you try something and then it don't work. But then it's almost like, you keep trying to do something and then someone goes, they're just waiting for you to be like, well, when you're ready to do in and out, do in and out. And then you do in and out and like, yay.
That's the one,
like, But then the thing is like, so there was that formula in there that I don't really like, but then it kind of sunk into my work. And then for no reason I'll be doing movement. It's even in your video. The video we did with Vanessa. Yeah. There's a moment in there, where, and it's maybe because my first time really filming, breaking.
Okay,
maybe.
Right.
All of a sudden, and I remember how I was like, why am I moving? But basically, so you see when we reveal Vanessa.
Yeah.
And I was sick, by the way. I did not plan that, bruv. The way she came out, I was like, raw, that's sick. But like all of a sudden, so she starts moving, and I know there's enough space for her.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I'm like, no, I need to move left and right a bit or something. But I didn't need to.
Right, you could have just held it.
Literally could have just positioned it in a way and she's doing all the movement herself. And it's like that kind of thing where people kind of fear that you need to kind of be dynamic yourself when sometimes it's not even the case at all.
100%.
So now like with my work now, I kind of want everything to kind of be motivated. It's like you're not just doing stuff for in and out purpose.
Yeah.
There's a motive behind it.
And you don't
there's that, and then there's going up. Yeah, that's the cliche to go up. And I spoke to my boys about this. We're at a link up. We linked up, and then we're watching videos, and then there's a moment at the end where I go up, and then this guy, he was like, "Oh my god, you've done it!" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know." Do you know? And it's mad. And it's like I clocked that. I was like, it's just that kind of like cop out to kind of just be like, well, there's nothing else going on.
Yeah, let me finish.
It would go up, and actually, there's nothing wrong with actually just being cut black, go to black.
Yeah.
Or it's just the way you frame things to end, because the same way how can I describe it? It's like whatever's in the frame could end that story.
Yeah.
Like, so if I go back to your video, is when everyone came together and they walked out.
Yeah.
That's in itself is kind of told its own story, and it's all gone through. Now you're focused on that, and then it just goes. Why would I need to go up?
Yeah, right.
Like, happy ending.
Yeah.
And then go up. But like,
I think sometimes dance videographers and photographers as well, I think, maybe get almost desensitized to what's in the frame, and then they think they have to do more. Whereas it's like sometimes just capturing what you're capturing is enough. Yeah. I find that with photography a lot of times, where it's like there's a saying I love, which is like, if you want to be a better photographer, stand in front of better stuff. And it's like, it's kind of like that what you choose to shoot is almost as important as how you choose to shoot it. So sometimes once you're in front of the thing, like let's say for photography, once you're in front of, you've set up the scene for the model, or you're in front of the perfect part of the street that you want to photograph or whatever, just take the picture. Like, you don't have to do a crazy angle. You don't, like, you can, but you don't have to do crazy stuff. And I think that's the same with filming as well, where it's like, if you've decided the concept and the people, like if Vanessa's doing breaking, it's like, she's sick. There's not a lot that you have to do. Do you know what I mean? You can enhance stuff.
Unless it's motivated.
Yeah, but you've already chosen the scene, the dancer, the music, like it's already set. So you can just capture that and it's enough sometimes. Yeah. I think that's one big thing, I think, and saying this, I've done all of these cliches. I am not above it. But I think there is definitely some aspect of subtlety in art that is like sometimes overlooked. And I'm not 100% sure why all the time. But, you know, it's like what we're saying. It's like you can be subtle and you can just capture the thing and it's beautiful. You can just do something really small that makes a big difference. But sometimes people are like, no, I have to be running all over the place, especially in class videos I've seen. Like, bro, I would never film. I mean, there's something to be said about there's a look that people want replicated, and that is not dictated by us or the dancers. It's just kind of a thing that happens trending, to pop, which is cool. But I think if I was just left to my own devices and asked how I want to shoot a class, a lot of these classes I wouldn't shoot with this crazy forward and back and side to side movement. And I get that you want facials, you want to capture certain bits of the movement. It's a lot for me. I think it's like you said, if you've got good dancers doing the thing, you don't have to do a lot. But then I wonder if it's people trying to earn their paycheck. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, I'm here. I can't just stand here and hold a camera because then I'm a human tripod. Like, I have to run back and forth. And I don't know if it's that or if it's, I don't really know where that came from.
No, I just think it's the demand.
Right.
It's whatever. And it's just, you might just feel like you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I've got to kind of do something.
Yeah.
But,
Is there what sort of, it doesn't have to be about dance in general, but like what sort of mistakes do you see people, we kind of spoke about the like cliche things, but is there anything that you see like beginner videographers or even like not beginner videographers do this a lot that you would be like, I would never do that? Or
firstly, that thing is not really a mistake.
Okay.
It's a choice, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
But I wouldn't even say it's a mistake. It's just something cliche that someone does.
Yes, yeah.
But it doesn't...
Just knowing that it's been done a million times.
It's not wrong. Yeah, it's been done. It's a cop-out.
Yeah, right.
For me personally. What I find people do wrong, is that for me to say?
Well, no, all right. Put it this way then, if it's easier to answer like this. What stuff do you see done that you wouldn't advise doing it like that, or that you wouldn't personally do, that you're like, okay, fine, if that's what you want to do? Because I guess, artistically, you can't really say there's mistakes.
It's not for me to say. It's like the same way that when I was in uni and I got graded for something, it was like, who are you to say that? Like, who are you to say I got this grade or whatever? And it's like, if that was a different teacher, that would have been a different result. Same with probably maybe with judging.
Yeah,
right?
True. But I think there's a bit, isn't there a technical aspect to filming and photography that you don't have in dance? I mean, there's technique, obviously, but as in, there's like, you can overexpose a picture.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas you can't really expose your dance.
Okay, cool. So there are techniques and stuff that be like, well, you need these in order for, it's like this having like a filmmaking tool.
Yeah, right.
So you've got overexposure. I mean, that's like a mistake. It could be a mistake for someone, or it could be an artistic choice.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's like running handheld when everything's just shaky, but that's supposed to be smooth. So there's that could be very distracting if you're watching dance.
Yeah.
And then
I did a big, it wasn't a big job, but like a job for a significant company yesterday. And they asked for handheld, funnily enough. I was like, really? I was ready to do my gimbal and stuff. I said, no, we want the handheld field. And I was like, all right, cool.
It depends on what it is that you're kind of capturing. Because then it's like the obvious thing would be like, well, if there's footwork going on, why are you up here?
Yeah, right.
But then that happens, to be funny enough, that don't even happen more in underground or anyone in the lower level. I actually find this in when I watch the big things on TV.
Yeah,
like
Britain's Got Talent. And
if
stuff.
you see a show and you're like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there was like a show where someone that I knew was on, and it was just random. It was to the point where it was like, I was waiting for the person to post a private video of like the rehearsal because I can see everything.
See it better.
Because I'm like, why have you gone on the top, like when everything's supposed to be here, and it's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So they've got there's that thing in live TV where you need to have every time, and I'm like, why? Why are you cutting here and here? But
I wonder if that happens in other industries. Like,
it probably happens in music, but I'm only seeing this from the dancers now. I see it in music videos as well with dancers now. Like maybe being on those sets is why. Because I'll be on a set and I'll see that these dancers actually choreographed a lengthy thing. Yeah. But then when you see the music video,
it's not in there.
It's not in there. It's like they got 3 seconds.
Yeah. I've done some jobs where we did like a routine to the entire song. And then you see the music video or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'm not in this. I got my paycheck, but I am not in this video. Like, there's my foot for a second, and then someone else's hand who was next to me. Well, what did I dance for 3.5 minutes straight for? Fuck all.
Oh, you got paid, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, well, the paycheck.
Yeah.
But I just think that's mad.
Yeah, they do tend to, like, when they're filming dance on like Britain's Got Talent or even any of the, I find it sometimes with the festivals and stuff as well, when they like focus on the dancers, they're just like, it's like, what are you focusing on this person's like face for when it's like they're not, know what I mean?
Which festivals?
I don't know. You know when you get like backup dancers and in the big festival music festivals and stuff,
yeah.
And then they're like, obviously they'll show the singer, but then they do close-ups of the dancers and stuff, and I'm like, this like me like sweating and like doing face, I'm like, show them dancing, like that's what they're paid to be on stage. Yeah, I did an impression on the GoPro. And then they like see the camera and they wink at it or something. So, oh, fuck off. Yeah, so I think, I can't remember why we originally got into this. Talking about mistakes. Or
yeah. So I've just been
on the higher end.
I guess I just guess it's just down to certain techniques. It's like,
and maybe they think the audience care about different things. Like as dancers and as artists, we care about the whole movement, but maybe normal family at home just want, they're like, oh, they're having fun.
But then that's because it's due to the audience, and it's like what they kind of want to see the reaction of a judge.
Yeah.
And it's like, even though you don't want to see that, it's like that's what they feel like. They want to see Neo react in a certain way. That's like the world of dance. Yeah, it's like, oh, J-Lo
just doing them.
It's like, wow, and it's like, man, I don't even think she even is reacting to that. The saying that happened like earlier on.
They do all the judges' reactions seem very fake.
Yeah, but it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, true. So I guess in that way you're right. There's not like a lot of mistakes. Just more like artistic choices and stuff. Who do you see as like, if you don't mind name dropping a bit, I'm not going to ask you to cuss anyone. Who do you see as like, I mean, you can cuss people if you want. I'm waiting for a clip that goes viral.
I was going to ask about that,
Go on, what?
Because I was like, and I felt like, maybe I should have texted this guy earlier and been like, bruv, what do you actually want? We
From the
work.
podcast.
Yeah, man, we can work. I was like, bro, if you want this to take off, like, because I've seen podcasts and I'm a big fan of just like mistakes happening or whatever, or someone walking off. I was like, bro.
Yeah, should we have an argument? Like,
say the word and people can go left. You can go left if you want it to. Like,
just do some manufactured like argument or something.
Yeah, I was like, you need something.
Start throwing our cameras at each other.
Like, who do you want me to call out?
I mean, bro, go nuts if you have anyone. No, in all honesty, I don't ever want to like. I know that I could push people towards trying to cuss people, or
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I don't want the podcast to be about that, even if it was to get me more numbers because I'm talking shit about people or what. It's like, nah, like if I have something to say or someone has something to say, cool. I don't want it to be fake, but at the same time, I don't want to get numbers just because we talk shit on the podcast. Like it's like I'd rather talk about real stuff. But on the opposite end of talking shit about people, who do you rate in the scene in terms of like photographers? Like who do you see putting in work? Who's like who gets the stamp of approval?
Stamp of approval.
This can just like, it doesn't have to be the best. It's just who do you rate? Who do you like?
I like everyone's work in terms of like everyone that was before I did anything, because when before
who were you seeing before you?
Who I saw before me was I always saw, and I just saw the logos and stuff. So I saw Paul and Ben. So Benjamin at the time. I saw that. Marco. I saw Marco's stuff, and I think I saw Jason's as well, actually. Yeah, Jason had a channel.
Jason was about. He got a shout out from Yak Films at one point.
Is it?
Yeah. They did like a.
Was that thing where they were kind of like putting different, like during like a week, they were kind of put different.
Yeah, there was like once a week or something, and it was like.
Like a visual of a week kind of thing.
Yeah, and they put some. Who was it? It was someone that did a beat kill or something like that. It was like beat kill of the week or something, and then they used one of his videos to show this. It was someone at one of Jan's events.
Is it?
I think I forget who it was. Anyway, and then at the end they were like, "Oh, this video is from Jason Torres. Like he's dope. He like does all the stuff in the UK. Like check him out if you have a chance," which is pretty cool as well because I guess they didn't need to do that, you know. So that was nice. So
so Jason
as well.
I'm trying to remember, there was someone else, but I think I forgot. But then, so those before.
What about what's his company name? 91.
I don't know if he was
Josh, right?
Yeah,
Kinsella, something.
Kinsella, yeah.
I always forget people's second names.
Him as well.
Yeah, I mean he's fucking dope.
He gone off. I was like, when first thing I saw from him was like a class video. And then I was like, oh rah.
He did a lot of class stuff at the beginning, but I feel like I've seen a lot, some of the like, I don't know how long ago it was.
I think he's going into.
He's like big boy filming now, right? Like he's like on the serious shit.
Last time we spoke was Dance Awards.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Which was again a random event.
Bro,
I was like,
I saw
you got nominated and didn't show up.
Yeah, bro, because it was me, you, and Josh. I got nominated. I was like, I'm not winning that. I was like, no, that wasn't why I didn't go, but that was why I was less inclined.
I was like, no, that's sick, because
it was cool to be nominated for like in terms of videographer. I don't know how that happened.
You know, it's mad because the first time I was just like, man, what is all of this, man?
Yeah,
that's why I was like.
I think a lot of people.
I was like, what's
like
this?
That. Yeah.
So. So then I was like, I don't really, and because I don't really value my work like that. And because of how I see, like, obviously people say, I think, and again, I'm happy in a way because of quarantine and stuff and actually trying to proper analyze myself and being like, and also give myself a pat on the back when I should have been doing that before.
Yeah.
It was only during that when I had time to just be looking back and stuff and be like, oh, right, you've actually gone up a level from way back.
Yeah, I think that's mad important. People don't do that enough, especially as artists. We're always looking ahead and we never go, I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Like, well done, me.
Yeah, that was all right, innit?
Yeah.
It's like, even if you don't want to say that, you're sick. Just be like, that was all right.
Yeah, that's like a big compliment from an artist, isn't it, to yourself?
So like, to that point where I'm like, because I see where I kind of want to be.
Yeah.
And if you say you're great or you're a legend, like someone was throwing out, I was like, oh man.
Not there yet, even... So was it like you didn't feel like you deserved like an award or something, or?
I just thought it was like, in a way it was like that, in a way. But when I did get the one last year, I was like, no, just say, even if you don't know how it happened, you'd be like, yo, it was cool. Like, just be like,
and it's nice to be recognized. Like, it's one thing for you to be like, oh, I'm not where I want to be, or I'm not happy with my journey, whatever. But for other people, it's not them saying, oh, you think you deserve this. It's other people saying to you, like, we want to recognize you for what you've contributed to us. So it's like, it's not really in a way up to you to say, no, I'm not good enough. It's like, it's for them to say, no, you've done big things for us, even if you're only this part of your journey, you know?
Even if you feel, so that was one thing I was like, all right, well, let me acknowledge that. Let me not say this is dead and go and put put the award somewhere else or whatever. I was like, no, I get it. Like, that was pretty sick. So I saw Josh. I'm so thankful I actually remembered that, because usually I'll be like, where were we? So But so Josh, I saw him, I think the last time we spoke, he was down. I think he was doing something. Yeah, he's doing big movements. Yeah,
Josh is like, I don't know him too well, to be honest. I think I've spoken to him twice in my life, but he's sick. Yeah, like I'm making the point, like, we're not saying this because we're his friend. We're just saying this because he's actually good.
He's sick. So
but I think he's on, like, moving on to like big cameras and stuff now as well. Like, he's not
moving on.
Fucking with
man
these
had
Sonys
big,
and like he's like.
I only recently got away from Sony.
Did you?
Yeah.
What have you got now?
Blackmagic.
Oh yeah, you said. How much was that? If you don't mind sharing.
It's not even The Blackmagics aren't that expensive, to be fair.
Right.
Compared for what they are,
yeah,
as a cinema camera, they're not
they're
expensive.
fucking good, isn't it?
They're good, but the thing is,
Can you use Sony lenses with it? How does it work? You have to get your own. Do they have Blackmagic lenses?
You have. I'm trying to remember what's it called?
The converter.
The mount. I can't remember what the mount is. But you can get. I use a converter.
The Metabones thing.
Yeah, you can get one of those. Cheaper version.
Yeah.
It's pricey, fam. And I think they have their own. It's a specific mount, but basically, the cost of actually having the camera itself, the body is not expensive. It's like for what it is, it's like just over $1,000 and something. But for what it is,
really?
yeah, because I paid for my
Sony. Sony was,
exactly. What Sony is that?
A7 II.
What the hell is that?
What did you have?
A6500.
Okay, it's like so I guess they've got the A7 range. So it's like A7 Mark II. And then you've got the A7R and A7S, which it splits.
Even I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like its own. I guess it's its own range. I think it's after the
A7S. I had an A7S before.
Yeah. So it's like, imagine, this is from what I understand. So if there's anyone listening that knows better, like, you can cuss me. But so I think that range, the A7S, it started with the A7. It was just that, and then they did the A7 II, which is what I've got, and then the A7S they split it into two branches. So I think A7S was supposed to be more video based, and A7R is supposed to be more photography based.
Right.
So after this one that I've got, it split, and they released like the R and the S, and then the R and S 2, 3, that kind of thing. So I think you've got probably the one above me towards video, the A7S.
A65.
Oh, sorry, the A7S would be the one above me.
Whatever that is, but
yeah.
So so it's not even that expensive.
Was the 6500?
6500.
Was that full frame or crop?
Crop.
Okay, right.
So, and the Blackmagic's a crop as well.
Is it?
Yeah, they're not. It's not a full frame. It's a crop.
But it's 4K.
Super 35 crop, I think. Or is it? I need to make sure. But the body itself ain't expensive. It's putting it all together. So like getting all the other assemblies,
like lenses and
lenses, but then even just like getting a cage to protect it, and then I've got a rig.
Right.
So it's it starts to go up a bit, but then
you can demand more.
Even after that, I've demanded more. Totally, because I didn't have a choice. But then I also realized that because I had that, I need to get another editing computer, because
it's big
my laptop.
stuff.
I've had my laptop since I was in uni, innit? So
it
was going up until then. When I started to use the Blackmagic's files on there, my Mac was done.
Really?
It didn't want it.
What did you get?
What do you mean?
You said you upgraded your...
So I upgraded recently to an iMac, just the latest iMac.
Desktop thing,
yeah. So just a massive iMac, and
Mad.
it cleared. Because, bro, when it became like... me having the camera became something that wasn't a benefit no more because of how long it was taking to edit. So I wasn't
because it was fucking your laptop.
Yeah, I wasn't used to doing proxies and stuff. I didn't have to. I could just go quickly. Now I had to set up proxies, which could take 6 hours to just do the files from that day. Then to edit it, then now to export. Just to export like a 3-minute video, it was taking an hour and a bit. And I was like, what is going on here? So I was like, once I invested into the iMac, that 3-minute clip was done in 3 minutes. So then after that, it's like, well, you should have upgraded.
Yeah.
But then it's putting that into the expenses as well. So it's been like, well, if we're going to get a new camera, make sure your system can handle that as well.
Yeah, true.
Because it couldn't handle the files at the old one couldn't. So,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do
just
some
in case.
upgrading.
Yeah. If you wanna get a new camera, just make sure it can handle what your system is, because
Yeah, I think that's a good tip, actually. I think one thing for me is like I'm getting better with the Sony now. Even like I'm definitely not like feeling like I've mastered the Sony. So I'm like, I don't want to upgrade when I'm not even making the most of what I have got. Do you know what I mean? Like it could be, I could just get the most expensive equipment and then be like, oh, everything I do is great. But it's like, there's no fucking point unless I'm good with each step. So I think I'm just going to wait and...
No, wait.
Yeah. Also, I'm broke as fuck, so I'm not affording any iMac, nothing. Anything with an I before it, no. I'm not getting that.
No. So when I got the...
Can't even afford AirPods, nothing.
No? Mine came with the Mac, thankfully enough. My sister hooked
To be
me
honest,
up.
I'm all on when everything I've got is Windows.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, snap, yeah. I thought I was an iMac. Not an iMac.
It looks like it, innit?
MacBook.
Yeah. It's the same range as like some of the Macs, but I was like, well, everything I've got is on Windows, so let me stay that for a while. Maybe I'll do a big switch one day, but
That'd be a big.
Also, I don't want to because I've got the desktop that's Windows as well, so I don't want to get a laptop that's Mac and have a Windows. I'll have to do everything if I'm gonna change. Yeah. So yeah, that's my story about my operating software.
Yeah, but it's a good But those high end cameras. I feel like where did we go from? That was from Josh saying you were from. Josh
I was asking about who you think. So you were saying
Josh. Yeah, he's dope.
Josh, Jason, Ben, Marco,
all them.
What about anyone that you see now? Because I feel like now we've got way more people that are picking up a camera, and because when Jason first started doing it, I was like, there was no one. He was
Jason
the only
a dancer before?
Yeah, that's how I know Jason. Yeah. I knew Jason through we used to dance together before he even bought his camera.
Right.
And then when he was putting in his work as a videographer, it was like there was no one really doing. I mean, there wasn't that many people doing what he was doing to that level and that level of consistency, and so he was kind of one of those. I mean, I'm sure there was, but I don't want to cuss anyone. I'm sure there was people out there, but he got a big name for being the guy, you know. I feel like now there's a lot more people, especially in the dance scene, that will pick up a camera and kind of.
Who was sick? Monkey Flip.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, I was with him yesterday actually.
Oh, is it?
He's all right.
Yeah,
he's all right.
Oh, he's sick as well. I think. Yeah. So it's like.
He started making a name as well.
With me, I'm just looking at it like, all right, sick, good.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see any competition in it or anything like that, not really. Yeah.
There's really no need. It's like if dance was paying, if it was paying what I'm doing, maybe my ego might get a bit if all the jobs are going to one other guy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not. So there's no real need to do that anyways. It's like,
and I think
do your thing. I was even saying to dancers themselves to kind of do the video stuff. It would help.
Yeah.
If you ended up booking me after, it would help actually. Because then you would, number one, know
what to do.
Yeah.
And also they might have more of an appreciation for why they should hire you. They try and do it themselves and it's like, oh no, I need to hire someone.
Maybe, yeah. So it's one of them ones. It's like, I would encourage, who else is, O'Neill's doing it as well. O'Neill's filming a bit as well.
Yeah, I know, he said he's got a camera. Yeah, he did a couple of things, didn't he?
O'Neill's doing it. Bismarck's been filming.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a while though.
Yeah. And Bismarck's one of the nicest people because I think we had a group that Paul did and there was a job going around and I couldn't do it because I didn't have a stabilizer and they wanted one, and then Biz was like, no, just come to mine and I'll give it.
Oh, nice.
Mine. I was
that's
like,
nice. Super nice of him.
That's a good guy. I don't even know him like that.
Yeah, sick.
It's like, yeah.
That's always nice when people surprise you with their, with their niceness.
What? It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. But yeah.
Yeah, sick. I don't know if you know Max as well. He's the other guy, Max Cheshire.
Max.
He's the other guy
I've heard.
Big fan of. He works with a lot of the younger kind of choreo guys.
He works with. Did he do the wars videos?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, man.
Stuff.
Yeah, those are the stuff I can't do.
The masks and all the
all the effects. Don't ask me.
He's like, don't hire me for this shit.
Don't ask me to do it. Like even who knows this. Who knows this? Wait. Who knows this?
Don't ask me to do that.
Jonathan,
shit.
Yeah, because I did one
Jonathan?
with them. He does the purge. There was the purge videos going around where they would wear masks.
Okay. That's so funny.
And he'll ask for these. I'm like, bro, I don't do them.
I did none of that.
Marco.
Yeah.
Literally how. That's why that should go to Marco or them lot. So I see it and I'm like, yeah, that's it. But then I'm pretty sure.
Some of his edits are mad. He did one.
Nathaniel's asked me as well. He'd be like, "Oh, can you do this and that?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna lie to you. That's not really not my thing. At least I know. I'm not gonna go and get paid and then do a whack job because I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have the time for it. I've been trying to practice that for years. I had After Effects when I was first starting out. I just couldn't be asked. I was like, this is long.
Yeah, but you know what? That's mad. It's mad what you're saying about you know, when you said there's not really mistakes and there's artistic choices and stuff. It's I know for a fact, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but your let's say your Blackmagic camera is of a higher level than what Max is working with, right?
Yeah, cool.
And
I can see, yeah.
Yeah, but it's still you're saying that there's stuff that he's doing that you're like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, of course.
Hire him instead of me.
People thought that my Sony A6500 footage was something else.
Right, yeah. And it's the equipment doesn't just make you who you are. There's loads of skills and things 100%. That you can bring to the table, which I think is really inspiring for people that maybe don't have money or can't hire get the best equipment or whatever. It's you can still become sick. You just have to be artistic about it. It's the same with dancers, really. You don't have to be the strongest. You don't have to be the fastest or have the coolest tricks. It's just like if you think smart and do something that other people can't do, or have something unique about you, you're going to be able to have an edge over people. But yeah. So shout out Max and Joe and Ben
and all the videographers
and Marco,
out there,
Jason.
Doing.
Who else? Who else do we love?
I would love to know if any of them are actually, if that's their full time, if dance is where they're getting their full money from. Because
I don't think anyone's 100% in the dance scene. Not. I mean, not if they're paying rent off it. It's like you might be 100%, but then it's like, I don't know, like working a job as well or something like that. But I can't imagine only. I don't know. Maybe there are. If you're out there and you're making, if you're a photographer or a videographer and you exclusively work in dance, please let me know or comment on the video or something.
I'll have to take some tips from
you. We want to know how the fuck you did it. But I think this is the things like I was looking at like Red Bull now. They've got those they've got. I mean, Little Shower's probably the first one who's like probably. I don't even think he lives off dance, does he? He's got. Sure. I see him doing like sports photography and stuff. But they've got like a videographers that they've got on their tours. I feel like
the only way you can fully, it depends on what it is though, because if it's just like dance videos from dancers, I don't think you are.
Like you'd have to be employed by a company. To do that.
So it's where the funding is, and that's where I kind of go to. Right. I'm like, well, is this government backed? Is this whatever? Because there's been good jobs out there that pay significantly more than what you might charge a dancer. And the way I kind of looked at it was just like, there's like a hierarchy in a way. It's like, and then it was me realizing, obviously you're not going to get paid, because it's like, for me, the way I've kind of labeled it, and I hope no one takes offense to this, but like dancers will kind of be at the bottom in terms of like what they're earning to provide what you value yourself. Yeah. So if you're asking for from the bottom to live off of that, it's impossible, because I'll be like, the dancers are there, then you've got maybe like, I don't know, like a director or even a musician might be able to pay you more than a dancer. But you've got all those, and you've got like the labels and all of that, and that's kind of like where up. So if I'm only there, then that's the cap. You can't really get more than that.
Yeah, I think. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I cut in there like I had something important to say, and I forgot what it was. I remember now. I think that it's also like, it's weird with stuff in the dance scene, because we tend to do stuff for the dance scene in the sense of like, okay, we might be videographers for dancers and stuff like that, but it's like, or dancers want to do like videos to show other dancers and stuff like that, but you don't really have that with like musicians. They want to do it for general audiences. They want to, they don't do.
Do you know, I was thinking about that.
You don't do a concert. If you're a rapper, you don't do a concert for other rappers. Do you know what I mean? Right. You are around other rappers, and then you do a concert for fans. But as dancers, we're like, no, I want to put on an event for other dancers. I want to do this video to show other dancers. And it's like, then we wonder why there's no money, because we're just like...
Yeah, because it's not really... That's what I was thinking about that before. It was more... my stomach starts to rumble, by the way. So if that's being picked up...
It's all good.
Because I fully tried to go Tesco and say I was going to get something to eat.
If you hear anything,
I was like, no, I'm fine.
It's Tobi's stomach.
I'm gonna fully do that. If I want to come in for that one sec.
Yeah.
I thought about that because essentially what we do as videographers is provide, and the way we should get money, the way we can get regular clients would be that we're offering a service that is rewarding for you, and you're able to gain something from that will enable you to book again.
Yeah, or that's how you should be in some way or form making money from the content you hire us.
Exactly.
Because then it's an investment for a dancer to hire us.
Yeah. So then that investment is going to be put back to get further investment.
Yeah.
But then I clocked, some people will see it that way, and then it's there for them to do a video so that they can show like maybe a label or someone that they know, a musician, and say, listen, you can have
or dance put it in your show reel, or send it to an agent.
Yeah. And then there's some people that will be like, oh no, it was just something I wanted to put on thing. I was like, bro, I charge you the same amount that someone would do. You better put that somewhere.
Yeah.
Like,
I've heard some, I'm not going to like out anyone, but I've heard some fucking stories about dancers paying money for like videos to put it online. And I'm like, I hope behind the scenes you did something with that. You did something with it. Because if you paid that much, if you paid like all like my rent to like...
Hey, who's that person? They talk to me after.
They might... Well, I've heard some people
client.
paying like big money for like these full videos. I'm exaggerating a bit, but not much. I'll tell you off the podcast. But yeah, like you're paying that much money, even if it's £100 or something, which is like pretty fucking cheap from any of us, I think. Like, why are you spending £100 to put something on Instagram unless you're using it to get some, or there's a reason? You have to have a bit of like understanding. But also I think this is why I see people trying to get stuff for free, because they know they're not going to make any money from it. But then it's like, well, then just use your phone. Like,
no, I've said that.
Yeah.
I was like, unless it's gonna go somewhere, and I think Dancer told me that as well. Yeah, someone told me that. Yeah, I don't know if I should mention. No, alright, cool. Yeah, but someone was like, literally, like, if they're not doing it for something, then they just record themselves, and then it's just whatever. But then if you've shot something for you to just practice, actually, to be fair, there could be. It depends on how many times maybe you do it, because someone might just want that experience of being filmed by a videographer. Yeah,
that's something. Experience
to prepare them for maybe an audition, or maybe if you get a music video, you know how to kind of act.
And I've done videos with people where I did one recently with Leah. I don't know if you saw the one I did. She's from up north. She's a sick popper. She's quite young.
Leah, is that something?
Leah Gar.
Is there a son?
Is there? I think she has one. I'll show you the video in it. She's really sick. But we did a whole like photo shoot and video shoot because she doesn't have anything professional at all, and she wanted to start being in the scene and stuff. So it's like she doesn't have a specific thing that video is going for, but it's to have professional footage of her if she wants to do something or get picked up by an agency or whatever, or if someone happens to look. So in that case, it's like, okay, you can build your portfolio, let's say, or your even if it's your social media, you're building like a social media that looks nice. But sometimes when it's like, I look at people's Insta and I'm like, what are you paying for? Like, you've got all this stuff. Yeah. It's fine. Like, you'd be fine with some iPhone footage, like, and then you're paying for this. But I mean, I'm not going to complain, because if they hire me, it's fine. I'm not going to tell someone that. No, but I think, it's more about if someone doesn't want to pay. It's like, if you've got the money and you want to pay it, like, cool, like, do whatever you want. That's fine. Hire whoever you want. But when people are trying to get stuff for free from a videographer, it's like, you don't always need a videographer. Like, if you've got a cool concept, just do it with your phone. Like, I've had some sick videos that I've done with a fucking GoPro. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you don't need anything crazy. It's just, if you have a specific reason where you're like, no, I need someone that understands videos, or I need professional footage or whatever, that's something else. But
just get creative with it. Literally.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, collaborations are another exception, I think. Like, if someone's like, yeah, this isn't for anything, but I have a sick idea and I'd love to work with you and I want your creative eye and we can work together.
Collaborations.
Yeah.
That was a word.
That is.
I shared your post, didn't I?
Yeah, I think, I mean, that there is a validity to collaborating. Yeah. I just think it's people use the word to try and get you. It's like, oh, let's collaborate. And it's like, oh, cool. What was your idea? And it's like, well, here's what I want. I want you to film 2 videos. I want it to look like this. I need to be in this location wearing this. And I'm like, so this is not a collaboration. You're just asking me to work for free. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like, collaboration is, even if you still come with the idea, it's like, well, what do you think? What do you want to put into this? What do you want to get out from this? Like, let's go have a coffee and talk about it. And then I can be like, oh, well, I haven't shot a lot of videos with this, or I have a new bit, like, I want to hire a camera that I've never used so that we can try that. And if it goes wrong, then it goes wrong because you're not paying and I'm not paying you. You know what I mean? It's like, that's a collaboration. But I think a lot of people have identified that as a buzzword that they can use to, like, say, oh, let's collaborate, which means, can I magically have something for free, please?
And it's not even like I'm not really against free.
No, not
it's
at all.
It's like,
it's how you go about it.
Yeah, but even then it's just like, what's being brought to the table? And I feel like anyone should, like, even if you're working, because then even if, when you talked about me doing stuff for free for, like, the OddVenture stuff where I'm not charging. Yeah. And it's funny because before I did the channel, I kind of read books, and I read Jamal Edwards' book, SBTV.
Right. Oh, is he the guy?
He's got a book. Yeah, from time ago. But then I started looking at SBTV, and then even all the other channels that they have now, it's like people were charging for them to be on the channel. I'm sure they had to build. Yeah.
Like, people are paying to be on the channel.
To be on the channel. Yeah. And I was like, rah, but that's mad.
That is sick.
No, but I don't know if I.
Oh, you wouldn't want that?
No. It's more, but I see.
I'm thinking like such a businessman. I'm like, I would love that. I'd do that tomorrow.
I feel where the money should come from I mean, you've got the views and stuff, but even that don't equate to anything nowadays. Even that reminds me of, you know, the whole thing, because I learned this from dancers with the whole, what used to happen with people getting asked to do things for exposure. Right. Exposure. It just reminded me of something that Bismarck did. It makes me laugh. But yeah, he did something on exposure. It was hilarious.
Okay.
But like, even with that, I clocked something that happened with our video.
Okay.
So it was all about, like, the things about exposure is about, like, people big would say that you should do work for them. And by doing that, they put a video out there and you get exposure or whatever. Yeah. Something that I realized was that you're never going to get that exposure that they're kind of saying that you would get. No. Because one thing I clocked with Will Smith put out a video and he regularly would like repost people's work just randomly. And I used to check and see if what happens to these people then. Nothing. And I was like, that's Will Smith. Yeah. Then the whole thing with, I think, who put it on a WhatsApp group that Omarion saw? I think it was, who was it?
Oh yeah, Omarion saw the video.
Yeah.
Was it our one? Yeah.
It was, yeah, because who shared it? Someone
Vanessa
shared it.
Someone.
It weren't Vanessa. Wait, so then Michelle. Wait, someone shared it.
Yeah, one of us. Because if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, me, Vanessa, who was on the podcast, and Michelle, who's a Voguer, we did a video together for Tobi, and someone shared it.
I don't know if that was even.
But where did he commented? Didn't he
commented on whatever, and he shared it.
So yeah, so Omarion put the video that we did on his story and commented on your post of it, or someone's post of it.
Someone's post. I can't.
Yeah, so I don't know how he saw it. Maybe from hashtags or something. But yeah. So and also I think like he had been.
And he saw Frankie's as well.
Yeah, so it seems like he'd been looking at the scene.
Yeah, something whatever. But then, even with that don't give you. That did nothing to the video.
Yeah, I'm not on tour with Omarion. Exactly, I can confirm I'm currently not on tour with Omarion. This,
like, exposure thing.
True.
Exposure on social media is nothing. So like,
that is
when you know that, it's
I forgot that he shared our video actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of the. I listed all these things down. So just be like, all right, cool. But like that did nothing.
Yeah, and I've done some videos for like people with like big followings, and it doesn't really get me. Yeah. I haven't really gotten any likes or like I've done them either for money or because they were my friends, and it hasn't maybe one follower. Like I did a video with Dennis just recently. I don't know if you know Dennis. He was on the pod as well.
He was in the video. He was in one of the link ups.
Was he?
Yeah,
Dennis did it.
Yeah.
With who?
Just think, man.
It wasn't me.
It was Light Feet.
Oh yeah. I didn't remember that. Well, he was. Kieran and was I there?
Baby. No.
Oh no. Okay. Oh right. Yeah. Anyway, I did a video with Dennis, and he gets a lot of like shares on the Afro stuff and all that. Like that video that I did for him got shared a lot, like from all these different accounts and stuff with my tag on it. Got one follower maybe.
It just depends. It's,
no likes. Like I mean, I didn't post the video, but
it's because no one controls. No one controls in that way. We were talking about the social dilemma thing, and I see some things in that makes me definitely not want to be on socials that much. I've already controlled it like that. But like, no one really, even if you were to get, it's people's preferences. So.
And I think it's a lot more of a conscious thing that you have to do. It's not just like, oh, if I just get shared by someone, then my career is made. It's like you have to have a whole game plan of how to take advantage of the socials and stuff. I need to get Shadow to come back and do a fucking marketing class and like
what was the word?
Teach us.
Entitlement.
You were loving that, innit?
I loved that. I was like, that is joke. Because I heard it the first time and I think he said it the second time. And I was like, I'm sure I know what he's saying.
I legit understood him the first time.
You clocked straight away. I was like,
I think I've just been around French people.
Yeah. I'm trying to learn French.
Oh, really?
Because I go over there. I'm going over there in, I think November.
Oh, nice.
But I go over there regularly. So
nice.
I know quite a few people from the dance scene there.
Sick.
What's this thing with France and UK, by the way? Is there a thing?
You put me on the spot to be the spokesperson for this.
Yeah, man.
I don't think.
No, you're not really, because I've heard different things from different people.
I don't think there's a thing. I think not as patriotically or not like the country and country. I think there's probably things between people.
Right.
I don't think there's necessarily a thing between France and UK. I think the main thing why I think that I mean I can only speak for the scenes that I know, so like hip hop and pop in and breaking and stuff like that. Like I don't know much about the crump scene.
Yeah.
I just think it's especially in top styles, France have been the fucking dons for years, and naturally we're competitive and want to take them down.
Yeah.
Like I think that's it. Like whenever French people used to come here, I was speaking to Shadow about this a bit on the pod last week, but whenever they used to come here, they'd smoke us, and it's like in competition, like UK B-boy champs, which was like our thing.
Yeah,
and it's
so I'll watch the videos. So I'll see, yeah.
So it's like we're getting our head kicked in by French people, and it wasn't a thing like, oh, fuck them because they're French. It's like, fuck you because you're over here being better than us. So I think when, for example, like when we were at UK champs and Nick and Brooke were the first ones to get through the first round, I think, ever in our fucking event.
Battle, yeah.
And it was fucking mad hype, and like everyone was cheering. It's not because we don't like French people. Yeah. It's because we always lose to them. Yeah. And it's like, yes, Brooke and Nick can do it. Like they're the ones that can like. We've got people that are killing it, and like, you know, anytime people, you know, like we've got a chance to beat good people. It doesn't matter who. Like you would probably have the same vibe if it was against like. I mean, when I first started as well, like Germany were like that as well. Like they still do have really amazing dancers now. But yeah, so I think it's more of a thing of just wanting to take down the best people.
In Germany, yeah.
At the moment, well, you've got like Majid and all these like.
I've not filmed like.
Oh, filmed! I think said I don't feel them. Like,
oh no.
I was like, damn, this guy discounted an entire country.
This one finally.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so you haven't filmed anyone? Yeah.
No, yeah. I've been a few times, but I've probably been to. Yeah, I've just not.
Well, Dennis is a man to hook you up with some people there. I've got some other friends. If you go Germany, let me know and I'll see.
I'll go Berlin.
So yeah. I want to go as well. Actually, Dennis is in Berlin, but I think a lot of the good dancers are from near Dusseldorf as well. Okay. There's like quite a few more from there, I think.
Who was it I saw from? Was his name Sydney or something? Someone I saw from. He was at Tanea's battle, the Future Formalities battle. Was it
from Germany?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, there's some sick people there, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think I don't think there's anything like necessarily between. From what I've seen, I don't think there's anything bad about. Like I've got loads of friends from Paris, and like I know a lot of the. From what I've on the UK side of it, the people that I've spoken to rate a lot of the dancers from Paris and think they're sick, and France in general. And like north of France was like there's some of like my favorite dancers like Jadawi, and some of my good friends like Lemzo and people like that are from the north of France. So yeah, I think there's a lot of good connections. I just think it's they're also they don't take shit. So when there's battles, it's like. If you battle in Paris or with people from France, it's like they don't take shit. So it's always heated and stuff. So, but I mean, I may be missing something that. Yeah,
I saw that when I went over there. Well, a few times. But it's like I see.
I had to be like people prepared me when I first went to Paris. They were like, okay, before we get there, like, it might be scary. You might get called out, but so be prepared. But it's like it's a pretty like intense battle scene, but it's because they're fucking dope.
Yeah,
like when you get that many people who are of that level in one place.
Yeah,
it's starting to be a bit intense in London now, but because we're getting good fucking people, so you can't just show up at a battle and like
definitely. Even from
chill. You have to fucking work.
Even from as long as I've kind of done anything, I was like, bro. I saw even if you want to talk about Evian, and from 2015, to now,
yes, and that's what 5.
Well, even then, I remember seeing him there, and I was thinking, I didn't know he was Jade's brother at the time.
Yeah,
I was like, who's this little kid?
Yeah,
he battled with Shadow. No, he battled against Shadow and Frankie at a rain jam.
I think I was judging that.
You might have been.
Oh, yeah, because when Shadow and Frankie battled together,
and someone else was there. I think Kenrick was there as well.
Yeah, I think it was me, Kenrick, and someone else were judging. I forget his name. B-boy. I forget his name.
But yeah, I was like, who's this kid?
Yeah.
And obviously now look, the same with Tanea and everyone else. It's like,
yeah.
But yeah, and then we've got Damari as well, bro.
The scene's fucking exploded. Like, I can't.
I just want to see them go travel. Though. That's one thing.
Well, I mean, now Corona's fucked it, but
of course.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's also different. Like, there's because of the internet and stuff. It's a different scene a little bit. You can get a name in other countries without traveling as much as you used to need to. But bro, like from like I think when I first started dancing and came in the scene in 2007, I was dancing maybe like end of 2006, 2007. And it's like from then till now, the scene is fucking different, man.
Yeah.
Like in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Like hip hop dancers will not, like from that time. There was like 6 good hip hop dancers, 7 maybe. I don't know. Like I think if I had to name them, but it was like you couldn't have made a top 16 with a good level when in 2007 of hip hop. No way. And then even like later on when like me and Kieran used to battle all the time, it was because there wasn't that many hip hop dancers. So, and then it's like, you know, now there's so many and there's so many good people. It's mad. Like I'm always like, I'm always the cynical person who's like, oh, I don't know if this person's good. Let me see. But like, even me, I'm like, nah, the scene's dope, man. Like I really, yeah, I think this isn't the topic, but yeah, I think the scene is sick and we've come a long way, and yeah, we've got a long way to go with a lot of stuff, but there's a shitload of good dancers. Even people that I don't like their style, they're still, you know, like there's people that I'm like,
I came to appreciate that too.
Yeah, you can look at someone and be like, I don't like your style, but you're still sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even more, I didn't like, it's like, I didn't get it. But then appreciating it, yeah, that's something that I had
you start to separate your preferences.
I was very into just a lot of beat kills and blah, blah, blah. But then, yeah, for the longest time, I didn't even like those people. Not that I didn't like, I just couldn't get used to or understand them. I couldn't understand a lot of people outside of the UK as well. I didn't understand Kefton. Alex Cage.
To be honest, I think a lot of people didn't when he first came out.
Even Alex Cage.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it, but then I just don't know shit. So I'm trying, but
Yeah. I think there's also, it depends. I mean, I don't think you're incorrect. You would be incorrect for saying you didn't like anyone. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I think with someone like Alex, for example, you have to know what he cares about in terms of like, I don't know him personally really, but in terms of the way he dances, you're like, oh, I see what your statement is with your dance. And I either appreciate that or I don't. I personally do, and I love it. But there's other people that's like, okay, cool, I get what your thing is, and I don't like your thing. But, you know, it depends how you feel about it. But I guess to understand it.
Is that how long we've been talking for?
Yeah. It's like
one
hour.
No one is going to listen to me talk for that long, fam.
An hour and 52 we're at.
There's no way. I came here thinking, it was only going to be like an hour. Because there was no, what are we going to talk about?
I think also the camera just cut off because that happens when we get towards the end of an episode every so often.
Is it?
Yeah, because I've spoke about this before, but I'm doing everything by myself and I can't get up to change batteries or anything. So
what happened?
We just put a little, people will be seeing a little graphic over the screen with your lovely face and your Instagram, and they can go and check out your Instagram. And yeah, on that note, we shall wrap up.
We shall. Thanks for this, man.
Bro, super appreciate you coming down. Nice to chat as well. Oh, that's
being
nice.
Interviewed.
Sick.
Because as soon as I came, I was like, normally like the first 5 minutes would take a while.
Yeah, sick. I think it's nice as well when I'm lucky in a way, like everyone I've spoken to so far has pretty much been like people that are like friends and I've actually speak to in real life. So it's kind of, and I haven't seen you or spoken to you in a while. So it's like, it's actually a real catch up. I think it'll be hard when I start speaking to people that I never met or whatever. And it's like having to kind of, connect with them, but we shall see.
Yeah, keep doing them.
Thank you, bro. I'm going to keep trying.
Because I was always, whenever I did the things like Artists for Growth and all them. Yeah. Because
I was there,
we're developing it. So that's sick. They actually got it into
fruition. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck, I just realised what you're talking about. Yeah.
With Saskia.
I might have Saskia on the podcast at some point. Because, when I had the idea from ages ago about doing a podcast. And then that was when I thought it through properly.
Do you want to talk about this after?
Yeah, we can do.
Because we might need to look.
You're so thinking like, people are going to be bored.
Man, if someone gets past 35 minutes.
But I think that all the time. I think people aren't going to listen for this. Like the one I did with Manny, I think, or someone was like 2 hours, 20 minutes or something like that. But I always think people are going to listen.
I'll look at that and be like, I could watch a movie.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, people out there listening, tell us where you listen to the podcast. Is it on the commute? Is it... Oh, you're not commuting anywhere at the moment.
Where's a cut off for you?
Well, people have been listening to the end and like letting me know. Fucking Joe Rogan's like 3 hours, so not that I'm Joe Rogan, but it shows that people do listen to long podcasts.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, we'll let Toby get some food as well because his stomach be rumbling.
It stopped actually, funny enough.
All right, let's do another hour then. No, I'm joking. All right, guys. Hit me up and let me know how you like the episodes, which ones you're listening to, all that sort of shit. Like and comment. If you subscribe, you can see when the new shit is out. 20 episodes. I super appreciate everyone listening so far. If you are listening, if you're not listening, I don't appreciate you. But you don't know that because you're not listening.
They could be listening in the future, man.
Yeah, if you're listening in the future, well then I appreciate them.
Well, yeah, true.
If they
have you watched Tenet?
That's a whole nother situation.
It just reminded me of that.
Anyway, super appreciate everyone and thank you and catch you next week for episode 21. Boom.